what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. This is Bonistries Motorsports. Today we're going to be working on this 1989 Jeep Cherokee XJ. We are going to be doing the front frame overlay plates. It's part of a chassis stiffening kit. This is mainly designed to fix the problem around the gearbox area because these uniballs, they're very thin, they're very weak, and they're just garbage. So these overlay plates, they do on both outsides, driver and passenger, and we do have the internal spacer plate, which is the triangle out of the 3 plates. That goes on the inside in between the frame and the gearbox. Alright, so those of you that either have purchased or are looking to purchase our frame overlay kit for this Cherokee, you will receive 2 outside plates and the inside gearbox spacer, as well as a bag full of hardware. I do have a business card in there, but you get 4 bolts, you get 1 nut, and you get 5 washers. So let's go ahead and show you where all this goes. Okay, so looking at the kit here, you do want to put these plates so you can read the letters BIM. This helps tell you which side of the vehicle it goes on. This one right here is going to be your passenger side plate. This actually goes to the front of the vehicle. These 3 bolt holes are where the bumper goes. So this plate here, you see the BIM? It's going to go right in here. It's going to go just like this, right in the front. So those 3 holes are these 3 holes. So that's gonna sit right there. You're gonna weld these slots, you're gonna weld all the way around, you're gonna weld in this circle, but you're gonna bolt everything together. The passenger side is just gonna be a frame stiffener plate. The driver's side is going to sandwich with the inside gearbox spacer on the inside of the frame. So this one here, you see the BIM is flipped. This one is gonna go here. Okay, so those 3 bolts right in there, I'm gonna go ahead and, it's got some extra bracketry right here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. I'm gonna strip that stuff. I'm gonna strip the chassis all the way down to raw metal as good as I can. And then we're gonna bolt everything up. That is gonna go like that. We're gonna bolt everything up, and then we're gonna weld the outside plates in. So this kit, you technically do not have to weld this in place, but that is kind of the purpose of the kit. You do have these bolts which line up with the gearbox and the bumper and everything, and that is going to reinforce it. But when you go and actually weld it all the way around and you fill these slots with weld, and I like to fill here too, that's when you really stiffen up the chassis, because it's going to have all that extra bite throughout, which is it's going to stop this from wanting to flex and twist, and it's going to add all that extra rigidity to the front of the chassis. So you're going to have it on both outsides, and this is going to stretch out up to the 4th bolt where that gearbox is, and it's just going to tie everything in together much stronger, much beefier, how it needs to go. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and do some quick little cleanup. I'm going to unbolt all this extra bracketry, but I'm going to take these triangle fender supports off, and I'm going to dangle them just on the horn wires. They are going to go back on, but for at the time being, I'm just going to unbolt them, swing them out of the way, so I can get in here and fully clean everything to raw metal, get it prepped, ready to weld.
Alright, so this is what comes out of the factory. This is the gearbox spacer. This thing is aluminum. This thing is super flimsy. This is what we replace it with our kit. You can see those 3 holes line up where the spacers are, as well as it reaches over to this extra frame hole, and it just beefs it up. This is aluminum. This is super fragile. It's garbage. This is steel, it's a solid plate. Much stiffer, much stronger.
Here we go.
So let's start mocking this thing up here. So here's the plate. First thing I like to do, get these front bolts in, get them started. Don't snug them up, just get them started. You can zip in the slack, but don't like clamp them down. Because basically what I like to do is get all the hardware in, get the gearbox bolted up, get everything lined up, and then tighten it down. Alright. Alright, so there's those. Alright, so it's a little harder to show on camera, but you see I got the spacers down. I like to feed it right through here. Tuck it right behind the radiator hose and just work with it, and it will eventually fall into place here. Alright, I'm gonna do this next part here on time lapse. I am gonna start with this back bolt here, but I am going to go ahead and get everything together. I'm gonna do it on a time lapse since I'm gonna sit here and kind of struggle lining up that gearbox. Okay, so this is what it looks like once it's all on. The socket size for these bolts that were provided is a 16 millimeter on the inside and outside of this one that has the nut. These front ones I did go ahead and run to Ace Hardware, and I bought some longer ones, and I just wanted some clean bolts. I wanted all 6 so I could have both sides, so I could have all the holes filled. These are a M10 by 1.5 thread pitch, and I went ahead and I got 45 millimeter in length. I got a little bit longer because we are going to put another mount out here. When we do the bumper, it's going to clamp to the outsides, and that's going to be next down the list. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to weld all the way around. I'm going to weld in each of these slots, and I'm going to weld this little ring inside that circle there. On the passenger side here, you can see there's not all the rear holes because there is not a gearbox, but you still have these same 3 front ones. So on this side, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and fully prep the surface, get it all completely raw. I'm gonna bolt the front bumper bolts in, and I'm gonna clamp the back side, and where all the bolt holes are for the gearbox, because I have them on both plates just to keep it uniform. This side, you're gonna go ahead and use those as rosette weld plugs, as well as welding all the slots and the circle and the outside. There's no reason to delete the holes. It just, everything's more uniform. It has the same amount of strength. Everything is gonna be good to go. Alright, so this side is prepped. Let's go ahead and get our plate on here. This one I am gonna go ahead and just go tight, and then now I need to get a clamp back here. Alright, so what I do, I get a really long clamp and I actually clamp it. The easiest way to do this is just put your clamp on the far side of the alternator. You're not going to clamp down very hard. You're just going to clamp down enough to basically get this flush. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it's clamped. It's nice and tight down on the metal. You see it's just barely below the other piece of sheet metal there. Bumpers clamped down. This side is prepped and ready to weld. The other side is prepped and ready to weld. And that's going to be it for the night. I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to weld this in place. All right, here we go. Day 2 on this. All we got to do is weld her up, slap some paint on her, and we are done. So let's go ahead and let's get to welding.
Tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in.
Alright, so passenger side is fully welded up. All the slots, the hole in the middle, all the extra bolt holes, as well as the driver's side is fully welded up. So all of that is done. We're going to go ahead and slap some spray paint on there, and that's going to be a wrap.
Counting stars, get it together. Your mind can't sleep when you let it serve.
Alright, so we do have the frame plates, the gearbox overlays, everything done, both sides, fully welded up, fully painted up. I did have a little bit of reactions on the top. I don't know if you noticed in the videos. This corner was soaked in power steering fluid. It does have a leak. I'm going to try to address that next. I'm going to look for it and figure it out. But I had already prepped it, everything but what was up inside the 2 separate sleeves of metal there. It was still just wet. I mean, you can't completely clean everything. It is what it is. So I kind of grinded those welds down a little bit, but the rest of them welded fine. But that is the full install on this 87 to 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ. This is the front frame plate overlays, the gearbox reinforcement plates. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you got any kind of comments or anything, just put them down below. I will put a link to the product down below. Then again, as well as those of you already watching the video, probably already purchased them. I sell quite a bit of these. For how old these XJs are, it's pretty surprising how many of these kits that I sell. So with that being said, that's gonna be a wrap, and we'll see you guys on the next video.